But you see, these men's team, they barely support these youth teams. So what informs anyone that if these guys are added another team in a women's team, then they'll
Mm-hmm.
cater for them. But there's some lie that these guys are throwing around. That's why you'll see a team like God will be comfortable to take on a team like a Koro, where they can donate maybe uniforms or just balls. Or on
Mm-hmm.
my end, that partnership was to ensure that they are eligible to play in those CAF games. After
Yes.
1 or 3 months, I was very sure they were going to dump those girls. It's something that they've done before with the youth team. It's something
Mm.
they've done. This is not the first time Gorma is being linked to the women's team. I think there's a time before, even before FC Leopards took, is it Macolandas? I think Gore had that partnership. They had that thought of taking them, but because these guys are not straightforward people. They don't even pay their male players. So what informs the decision that if they're going to have a women's team, they're going to pay a women's team? I think there's just a lot of things that we are putting under the rug. And this goes straight to, I know a lot of blames have been on the federation and stuff about them not supporting teams and stuff. But I'd really want to see efforts from all these teams, even with these women teams that doesn't have partnership with the men's team. I think they are doing some shabby work for lack of a better word. And I'll give you a perfect example because I've been around the women's game for some time.
Mm-hmm.
I won't mention a team, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the best paying team last season was Gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I think it was Vihiga Queens or stuff. But there's a
Mm-hmm.
team in the KWPL which only remitted. They didn't have salaries. They only remitted allowances for players, and these allowances were based only on
Mm-hmm.
wins. For a
Mm-hmm.
win, if that team, if they manage a win, those ladies are only
Mm-hmm.
entitled for 800 shillings. So
Mm-hmm.
800 shillings in a month, let's say they have 4 games. That's
Three,
around 2400.
no,
2400 is
3200.
not around. 3200. 3200.
Mm-hmm.
3200, it's not assured that they'll win all the games in a month.
Yeah.
So basically, a female football player in Kenya would be walking home with something less than 2000 a month. This is someone who has a family. Some of them have even kids. Some of them have things to do. If right now I was to give every other person in this space an amount of 2,000 shillings, I'm dead sure even before we finish this conversation, that 2,000 shillings will be over. So basically, most of these ladies are playing for free, which shouldn't be the case. When someone is going to play for free, that will mean their club is not doing enough to ensure that these people are well catered for. I know there's some blame on the part of FKF, but when FKF is going to give you something, I had this thought of when FKF is going to negotiate like the TV deal that they're going to do with, let's say, Azam, or the sponsorship that maybe they had with one expert. At least in those conversations, they can include this women's team as part of those conversations, so that maybe there are some stipends that they're given. But again, a team like Vihiga Queens that's going to play for CAF, let's say we have this TV deal for them. Maybe it's 700,000 a month, or maybe 550,000 a month. That alone can't even cater for that trip.
Mm-hmm.
So each and every other club must have something extra away from what FKF is giving. They're not doing their part well. I won't lie about that. But again, clubs need to rise up and ensure
Mm-hmm.
that they have ways of generating money. I think Brie has talked about Viga Queens CG selling bread and stuff. As
Mm-hmm.
much as it's demeaning to some extent, but I think those
Mm-hmm.
are some little steps. If we are going to sell like a crate of bread, how much is going to the club? If you're going to sell merchandise, how much is going to the club? I think Vihiga Queens is one of the most organized team on matter social media and stuff, which this space has advocated for a very long time. But then again, if they're not making good use of their numbers, then I don't think FKF should be blamed for some of these things. They should just come, their money should just come to complement what all these clubs have. When to finalize on this thing, having every other team in the top flight that now force wakwena teams za madem, I don't think that will be self-sustainable if I'm telling you guys the truth. Because if these guys can't spend on their men's team, I can assure you that these people will give nothing to this ladies team. Let's just have this ladies team the way they are. If a team like police comes and say, we have a partnership with TIC and they're paying them, well and good. I'd really support that. If maybe God comes and say, we want to support Akakoro the way they're doing, and they're supporting them. But let this partnership be part of those sponsorship, because now you see police, is it bullets or stuff? They have the Betika jerseys and stuff. At least I think there's some talk of those insurance braces. She was injured. She was just given some ice and water. After a month, she didn't come back. At least when these ladies have a cover, like I've been told those ladies at police have covers, let's not do these partnerships as if we're doing them to pass some test or some this license issue. Let's have this partnership when they're included in the negotiation that these men's team have with the sponsorship. Men can earn 60 million a year. Give your ladies like 20 million or 15 million or maybe 5 million. Let them get incorporated in these deals. Not that, si tumepewa 60 million, out of these 60, madem tuwagawe wangapi. Like, it's a matter of you weighing the pros and cons of you giving your ladies team money. Let the sponsor say, man, we were giving you 50 million. Out of this 50 million, 5 million will go straight to the ladies team. I think that's how we can help these ladies. But this declaration we are making with the teams, of these roadside declarations, I don't think this ladies team will go on. I hope I'll add more maybe after people have talked.
Yeah, so you're vouching. Thank you so much, Zachary. So before you put off your mic, so you are vouching for these teams for to have partnerships as compared to
Honestly, you have
acquiring.
a valid point, and I agree the seriousness with the federation and how, sorry, not the federation, the league and how it's managed. It's horrible, and the fact that the academies, it's something that kind of foreshadows what could happen to the women's team. How the academies are under the club's names, the men club's names, but then they're not being supported as they should. And it really raises the question, if it didn't work for the academies, how will it work for the women? There should be stricter laws and like consequences for not following what is required and helping the other part of your club, because yeah, it's needed and it's good to have two teams. Honestly, even the academy teams, it's good because it really plans for the future. You have backup and you can keep on growing. So yeah.
Mmefinya mic nyi wote.
Ni kama ghost wamepotea.
Moraa.
Moraa ameenda.
Can I equip in something to ngoja host?
Yeah. Telikuwa nilete in nebs, but go ahead, okay.
Come on.
Okay, so for me, if I want to be radical as opposed to the soft stance that Zax is taking, because what we're doing right now is okay. Let me take again. I think I see absolutely no harm in having like 5 professionally run and well-funded clubs in Kenyan Premier League instead of the 18 being run like kiosks with players employed on poverty wages, which are just meant to make them survive. And this is a disease now that we are transplanting into the women football also, in the name of trying to uplift them. From what we're doing, we're not uplifting the women football. What we're doing is just we're trying to hide our misgivings by trying to show that we're trying to do some affirmative action. You know, it's just like the 50+1 bill in the Kenyan parliament. You know, ladies are always taken as flower girls. And that is what the federation is doing. That is what these teams are doing. So for me, I think I'd go radical and say the country as at now is not in a position to, the teams, not the country, the teams as at now are not in a position to pick up ladies teams and sustain them for the long hog. It's just, this one is just for compliance manenos, just to tick some boxes.
I really want to highlight something that you said. It's better to have 5 teams that are serious and that pay well, not on poverty wages, than having 18 teams. And I fully agree with that. And I think maybe the federation tried adding this new rule for, I don't know if it's only the leagues or it's because of the CAF regulations, but adding like a women's team so that the teams that aren't able to do that will be forced to leave. I'm not too sure if that's the plan, but then it's obviously better to have fewer teams that are quality rather
J. Kama unanisikia bwe ka thumbs up. Lamo Bakaya. Hebu mni kama unanisikia bwe. Weka emoji. Rusha emoji kama unanisikia. Lamo na Bakaya. Kama unanisikia bwe. Kama unanisikia weka emoji kila mse uko kwa hii space. Haya, mtumie wa madem links basi. Mtumie wa madem link.
Tunataka kusikia English tafadhali, tunataka kusikia English. Got
Ni
English.
sawa. Acha hebu tumieni wa madem.
Sorry.
Mimi mwatag hapo chini wache. Mimi sina ndo. Naweza tag
Adding my
huyo
co-host
mwingine. Bree na nani nitawatag na
finish on
Moraa.
to wind up on what we started.
Huyo mwingine ndo sina ndo yake.
Got Moraa anaendelea. Chill.
Aishaanzisha space nyingine
Muna share hiyo account. So sasa wewe nyamaza, wacha endelee.
Okay.
Moraa, go ahead.
Okay. So well, my guests,
Unasikia kiongea?
let me connect them
Got
back,
nyamaza.
please.
So mimi niweke tu space na nyamaze au unajaribu kusema nini? Ngoja before endelee hizo. Acha tusikizane. Sasa ukiniambia nyamaze na sijui.
Let me connect my hosts in a few.
Mwambie chill. Dizo.
Yeah, can see one of them is back.
Bree,
you can accept my invite to co-host.
Dizo.
I can't see Gloria. Let me try and reach her.
Chele. Kuna mzee anaongea ama mimi naona mna.
Bree, you can accept my invite.
Got kuna msee anaongea. Wait Moraa. Got kuna msee anaongea. So wacha ni Moraa na bonga. So we just maintain tu.
Naje space kazi sikiki tu kusema tu ukweli wase.
Si toka unatuchafua masikio na Kiswahili bro.
Okay, wait. So what I'll do, okay. Kama Rasha connect on the other side mimi. Hata okay, wacha declare tab yangu ni clear space itangu. Itangu. Acha declare kuja na kwa yangu.
Where were we when
endelea tu Moraa? Go on.
We abruptly ended our space. Bree. We can continue, right?
Yes.
Dizo.
Yes, you can. You guys can go
ahead. There's so much has been said. What I do feel like these CAF rules as they have been put in place, I feel like Kenyan football inanga order. There's no order. Venye tu Zachary alisema hii story na him suggesting that we go the Ugandan way, already Kenya too hatuna order even from the president himself into down the grassroots. As much as other teams are trying to find order within their clubs, but the FKF itself, in my opinion, we don't have order. If we had order, we could have known how we can implement these said CAF rules. So I think people have a lot of self-interest. Decline. By that I mean like these clubs trying to partner up or acquire these female sides. As much as they just want to put out the women teams out there, give them maybe their male team fan base or popularity, or I can say fame, giving them the platform, still they have that self-interest, like wanawapatia platform lakini bado wanawakazia. So as much as these things are being done, they aren't really done out of pure heart. That's what I'm saying. Most of the teams are self-interest. Yes. So getting back to what we were speaking about, Vihiga Queens are joining they'll be participating in the CAF, which I am aware most of you guys know, in the CAF Women's Champions Leagues, and it will start on 12th, yes, on 12th to 14th of August, and they will be playing in the Group B, where they'll be meeting the AS, I think it's called like that, AS Kigali Women from Rwanda. And then in the same Group B, we'll be having Vihiga Queens with JKT Queens of Tanzania and the New Generation FC of Zanzibar. Do you think these guys will progress from Group B, or what are your thoughts on their performance? As we've seen on their platforms, the guys are grinding, they're training, they are trying to get fit in preparations for their CAF qualifiers. What do you think, Bree? Are Vihiga Queens going to represent Kenya? Well, now that last year we were not, the previous year we were not able to participate because of the government interference in the FKF. We had an expulsion, of course. Most of you guys know. So do you think Vihiga Queens are going to bring back the women's football in Kenya, taking it back to the space where not like major it was, but is Vihiga Queens going to place us somewhere? Am I talking to myself? If you can hear me, maybe you can raise your hand, because I can't even see any reaction.
Yeah.
Maybe Bree has a connection problem.
Yeah, but we can hear you though. I think everyone here can hear you.
Okay. Any one of you in the listening section would like to add something on that? What do you think of Vihiga Queens representing us at the CAF Champions League?
Personally, I have
I've given this the mic to Hilda. Maybe since she's around, she can say something, and other few of you. So we'll take turns. If you can raise your hand and then you go ahead and speak. What do you think, guys? How does the future look for us, the women footballers in the Kenyan space? Of course, I'm not a footballer.
Hello, hi, Moraa.
Hi.
I have joined the space a bit late, but I found Zach talking some key points about the interest.
Who's speaking?
Oh, it's Mbakaya.
Okay. Welcome to the space.
So my thoughts are usually, I've had a different opinion about football, women football, vis-a-vis the issue of this licensing. I've always felt that forcing the men's teams to own women's team is like it's going to put pressure on the men's teams, and they may not deliver. As just to quote what Zach said, accomplish a few things. Then, if you look at it from the perspective of what Bree was talking about, you get injured at Kayole Style. Like last season, I think there's a group of people I know who are trying to get closer to Kayole Starlets and try to take over and everything. Because the fact is, Kayole Starlets initially was owned by the current CEO of FKF. Hii ndio history yenye watu wengi wanataka kuhepa. But he is the person who was behind it. And it's actually what really propelled him into FKF because of that. He got closer to the then chair, the president, and I think from there, the relationship grew with them, Ukombele. But he left his team behind. So Starlets was abandoned, I think so, from these are from the sources on the ground, and it was left to somebody else who was supporting it. Just to cut the long story short, I attended a match last season when they played against Kisumu Starlets, and you could see a big difference. Yani, wasichana were fit. There was a lot that was not right. The attitude, you could just see that these were demoralized players. At that point, these rules of deducting them for missing matches were up. So already they had lost. They're on minus 13 or something points. You can never survive on minus 13. You need to win like 10 matches to make sense and get to 17 points. So already, the fact that they were being deducted 3 points, which is only happening in the female league, but kwa hiyo wanaume hakuna such rules. Now, if you force FC Leopards for now to honor women's team, it looks fancy. Forcing them looks fancy that, okay, we can use their brand to bring a bit more attention on the league. But that club is in turmoil on a lot of fronts as far as certain things are concerned, themselves with the current structure they have with the men's team. They still have a lot of cases to sort. They still need to sort their own strategic plan. But here you are lumping on them another thing. Leopards is a sports club. It should ideally be owning having interest in basketball, rugby, and other things. But for the fact that all these years there's been an opportunity to own a women's team, when Vihiga Queens was coming up, because Vihiga Queens is owned by an individual who at one point was struggling. Leopards, I think, were doing well, but they didn't come in to help. So somehow Vihiga Queens has ended up setting the pace. And even I know they are going to win this CAF. Chances are very high that they will represent us at the continental level. But you look at the change in that team. If you look at the disintegration of the previous team that attended there, the disillusionment, they've had a lot of change. They have lost a lot of players because at the end of the day, even if people win 1 million or 2 million, like there's somebody who has a similar name like mine to pay her. And you see, as Bray said, people moving to police, the ladies moving to police, the incentive is the work that they likely get, the job that somebody will press button and say, because when you play a police, you'll become an employee of police. Football becomes second. Question is this how we should run football, where the security is in jobs and not in the game? I've had a very big war with how some of these parastatals exist, and the model that police is using in sports, especially football, should be condemned because they're not building the game. They are not really helping. Because they are very restrictive, even on if a player is a police officer, he cannot play for another team. I think so. So is that really helping the game? It's not. If that person is a sportsman, they should get the same benefits. Ulinzi has done the same nonsense. We've seen it across the years. And the rest of the other teams that are parastatal or COP will do so. If the parastatal teams are going to employ people, it should be fair enough that the players can leave to play for other teams. Now, on the number of the Women Premier League, I think the teams are too many. We could probably have tiers, teams that matter at the top, and then the rest can be grouped because 18 clubs suffering is what we are going to have, as Trosa said. I'll rest my case now before I come later on.
Okay, Mbakaya, thank you so much for that. Bree, would you like to add on something on that? It's Kubasu. sent you the mic. You can now speak. And Goat, you can be preparing yourself to take over. Nebs, you can now speak.
Mnanipata? So history ya clubs kuokota teams kila mahali, for me I don't think ni kitu itasaidia like hiyo football kugrow ya madem. Like the past 2 years I think nimekuwa nikiwatch game ya madem sana. Every weekend nilikuwa nikitafuta game ya madem, nataka kuona kugrow tu interest, nataka kujua nini inaendelea. Tumekuwa na Bree mara kadhaa, so I don't think ni kitu itasaidia kugrow. Maybe nimesikia wakisema itakuwa saa upande wa sponsor anakuja anasema okay, hii do ni ya maboy, but hii share, hii percentage iende kwa the lady side. It's fine. Sioni shida like tuseme Tusker kwa acquire sijui Macmillan, Gor kwa acquire because iko kwa law. Hiyo sheria inasema as long as the team inacheza ina league, ina competitive league ambayo iko sanctioned by the I think the governing body. Sioni hiyo shida, only that ni kitu sioni kama itasaidia game ya madem kugrow. Back to ni Vihiga Queens. Tangu the tournament ianze, I think the host nation dimekuwa ikibeba, and I think the team to look out for, I think ni hiyo ya Burundi, Buja Queens. They have the former Topista Situma, I think she's there. Na juzi I think amefunga bao 4 ina friendly walipiga timu fulani ya Guinea Bissau ama wapi. Then we have Corazon. Kenyans ndio wako hivyo, na unapata in this region I think our ladies, they are doing very well. I think we have our ladies side ndio the strongest kwa hii region, but pia we need to look out for is it Kampala Queens or what? Then Commercial Bank of Ethiopia huwa walisumbua sana, edition ilikuwa hapa 2021 I think. So itakuwa ngumu sana for Vihiga this time round. So my money inaweza eka kwa Buja, then maybe CBE ya Ethiopia. They are two good sides. Joyodo. Yeah.
Ni mimi sisikii mtu.
Hata mimi bwana.
Zak, niaje?
Niko fit.
Yani wewe usingoje. Yani Moraa ametuacha tu hivyo bila hata good night, yani hata na intro. Ndio tujue
No,
Acha niguzie hapo kwa Vihiga kiasi ya.
I haven't left. Okay.
I don't think Vihiga will have a good outing this time because last time wakiwa tournament, I think there was some proper hype around them, yeah. Mostly ukiangalia support pia walipata from these politicians and stuff. Unajua Kenya si watu kuanga hivyo, wengi wetu upendanga wasee wakisha toa matunda. Like we so much obsessed with success. Process ya kupata success ya tupigangi. So, like right now, if you want to know why this team might not do well, I think Nebs amesema kitu hapo. As a team that has just won hii championship, I think sahi watu kama Corazon wangekuwa wanataka kucheza CAF kweli, because clubs zao haziku make it in CAF. Sahi wangekuwa wanachezea Vihiga, because their deals at Vihiga Queens ni vitu short sana. I think 3 or 4 months. So basically wako hiyo team kucheza CAF. And as you know, CAF pia inawapatia platform ya kuwa spotted and stuff. So the reason why they're not playing for Vihiga is simple. Those guys are not being paid. Mtu akikwambia hao mademu wanalipwa umulize do iko wapi. Those ladies are not being paid. To make matters worse, I think they've only made 3 new signings. Kuna umdem alikuwa anaitwa Matakarani. She's had a very good season with Bungoma Queens. Vihiga memchukua on loan. Then alikuwa na teammate wake alikuwa anaitwa Tumaini, na saa jina yake ya pili. So Tumaini na Mata wako Vihiga on loan. Then I think the third player ni ule Mwangi kutoka Madhari. Ani players tu watatu. Then wamechukua Okere tena. The team, the coaching department that led them last time in CAF, the same coaching itakuwa ina our guide this time, majorly because coach wao yule ana papers. Sijui miaka yote amekuwa kwa hiyo team, sijui amekuwa akifanya nini. Njoo pia kuuza mkate saa zingine maybe pia inachanganyisha watu, but as ama coaches pia saa zingine wakienda hizi vitu nafaa wanaangalia career zao. There's no way you can lead the team to a championship, yani ikifika mahali sasa ya kuweka kwa hiyo level na patia mtu mwingine team. So I don't think they'll do well, majorly because of money issues. All these ladies who are shining for these continental teams, like I said, Vihiga Queens actually first 11 watu 8 wanatoka Kenya. Ni watu wangekuwa wanachezea Vihiga hapo kama walikuwa wanalipa fiti. Nebs has talk about CBE in Ethiopia. Pia iko na nini, iko na players wazuri. Wanaweza pia challenge kiasi, but hii team yetu hii sioni this time wakenda mahali. Unaona players wa deadly wamesusia CAF wameenda Bullets huko, because huko I think ndio kuna do. So if Vihiga wants to compete, first they have to look for money, and the county government of Vihiga has been funding this. I don't know what happened tangu ule nini mwingine atoke. Hii nini yani kama amekataa. The other time was lifting trophies here when these ladies won. Ili need to host hapa juzi. He is nowhere in action. So team yenyewe mkate huwezi enda nayo CAF. Mkate hata pesa ya passport hiwezi toka kwa mkate. So they need to have some proper financial muscles to really compete with this other team, because our best players are being poached. Nasiara wana earn millions of shillings. Wauliza I'm getting now mtasikia. It's not like they are earning a lot of money. It's only because they need that platform, which is a CAF. They have ladies are forfeiting CAF to play for police. Venye Victor hawataki, lakini at least they are paying. Unaona? So so tu hiyo nini, this season has then kama wataenda mbali. Wakienda mbali pia ndio mpira pia nakongana miracles. But I don't see them doing anything much this time. Yeah.
Your design
Mhonja's been
manze,
raising his hand.
nimechukulia tu juju
I've seen
na
Evanso raising
nimechukua
his hand.
juu
Maybe more.
host wa
Mhonja, you
mademo
can
ako na
go
issues with
first.
connection, so I'm just here to guide, kupeana chances and all that. Mimi siko hapa kuguide wase.
And
So
then we can
Mhonja,
have
acha tuanze
Truth
from your stand.
speak.
Vihiga Queens fan 001 Vihiga Vince, na yeye pia kusema about what Zaka amesema. Sema.
I think Moraa
Got it
akimaliza
abidu
atakwambia.
mute bana. Achia madem show.
Moraa akimaliza
Tulia,
atakwambia.
achia madem show.
Nani? Bakaya. Wait. Bakaya. Kidogo tu Bakaya. Bakaya.
I see, you can see.
Nataka kuambia kitu simple. Unajua na host space kwa nini? Nimerudi kwa nini? Nani Moraa amesema nini yake
God,
network yake
tutakuachia show
inaanguka
in a few.
nichukue tu.
So
Bree
before we
Mong'ina
wind
nakaa
up,
hapa wewe control
because
space.
my
Ameniambia tu
co-host
nichukue
will be
space.
leaving in a
Network yake
few,
iko
I
somewhere
would
weak.
like
So
her
Bree wewe
to
control space, mimi hata siko kwa hii space. Mimi nawapatia tu na
conclusively
provide
speak
na
on
network peke
her
yake.
final remarks, and
Bree take over.
we can take, and then you can take it over later.
You
As
guys
I also
go on.
sign
You
out.
guys go on when you're ready. Ataambiwa.
People who cannot speak in English watoke bwana. Sasa, us who can speak in English now, it's our time to shine. Yeah, I think last season...
Okay. Let me drop the space so the English speakers can put one. Okay. That's okay.
What has
network.
happened?
Rose unanga network kwanza. Sangalia story ya kizungu.
Wewe.
Kizungu yako na net.
Goat.
Unanga network.
Can you let the space go on? Umeleta banta mapema aje na bado tuko on important things.
So,
endelee. Nilikuwa tuna brief mmepatiwa tu space juu ya network issues. Sikuwa na ubaya mimi. Msichukulie vibaya.
Let them go on.
So, my opinion, you see, I think for me, anything football I'll usually watch, and as long as you're kicking the ball, even if I'm passing and I'm going somewhere, I'll usually like spare some few minutes or seconds to watch what you guys are doing. Even if you're playing criminal football, I don't know what football, aeroplane football, I'll watch. So I decided last season to watch some few gospel games. I feel like we are the best team in the country so far, and that's why we gave Vihiga a run for their money, and they felt our impact. So I don't feel Vihiga is going anywhere as far as you guys are concerned, and that Burundian team, I don't think it's going even anywhere, because somebody like Corazon, you don't tell me you just wake up one day and resign from Simba and then join some unknown team in some village just because you want to market yourself. This is somebody that asking yourself, for how long will you continue marketing your trade for ages? Yeah, people have been coming here, going, people coming, going, but this, for how long will she keep on jumping from one team to the other and not making some serious proper signing somewhere? Even Gentrix came the other day, we watched her, she's in China, so for me, I feel like that Burundian team it's going nowhere. The only team that is going to give us a run for our money is that the Ethiopian team, the CB. They usually show up. Those ladies usually show up, and the last time they showed up, Vihiga felt the impact. Yeah, so I don't want Vihiga to go anywhere to embarrass us as a nation. As a gospel fan, I also don't like Vihiga because I feel they won the league so much unfairly to us. So that's my opinion. Hakuna penye Vihiga inaenda, tuache hopes. Unaona, yes, we love football, but let's not force things. Kuna penye wanaenda, waendelee tu kuuza mkate huko Eshitsitsi na kina nani wanunue. There's nowhere they are going. They don't even have money. Us gospel, we have been traveling, playing number 2s in Uganda, everywhere, media 2 and so forth. And so what have they been doing? They don't have anything.
Okay. You can take it over, Bree.
Oh, ninasikika?
Yeah.
Audible enough. Tetea timu yako.
Jamani, you can't be throwing Vihiga under the bus. Hey, ama ni juu ya last season. Okay, anyway, of course tunajua hakuna mtu mwenye anapendanga mtu mwenye huwa tu juu all through. Lazima you come together, you rally together, mjaribu kuwarudisha chini, but I think I'm still betting on my team as they go to CAF because at the moment, as much as kumekuwa na a lot of push and pulls, internal push and pulls, muliona actually hadi after hiyo pesa ya nini ya kwa champions ilileta issues mob between the management, the owner na players. But in the end, I think players, because I normally talk to a number of them, it's like they're going to this competition for their own good. Si ati story na team. So kila mtu anaenda kutoa hapo hivyo game yake, because I think their main aim ni kutafuta greener pastures, of which they've seen a good number of their colleagues waliendaenda juu ya CAF. So hiyo ndio most of hiyo ndio the main goal yenye wako nayo, of which I think kila mtu akileta game yake sasa, mbona wasiwin? As much as ndio pesa inaweza kuwa ni shida but I know kama gava inawashikilia hivyo for the few zenye wanaweza wasaidia nazo wao, as long as they've shown up, mwache wademu waende wacheze mpira. I still believe in them, they will give a good show na mtastuka. Yeah.
Speaking on that, before someone else speaks, I am also on the same opinion that Vihiga Queens will be bringing the A game, and this is why. As much as they are using this platform to be seen by other teams, you can't just go and use a platform to be seen and then you just don't show up, don't bring your A team, your A game, your A game. So they'll push themselves. That's one thing for sure. And also another thing that I personally feel is we are not giving the women football players the high to make it in life through footballing. Yes, that's the word. So also commenting on this issue Bree mentioned on clubs, yes, money. Like Vihiga Queens received money, and the management and the players and the coaches, they are push and through, they are thrown in between because of money. Let me tell you something. In the grassroots football, as now a grassroots coach, nimejionea mambo, and I can testify when money has come to a club, hapo ndio mtaanza kujua now the real. When money has come to a club, or a club has won some money, it's when you'll know now the real true characters of the management, of the coaches, of especially the management team that is responsible. Hapo ndio mtajua sasa hawa walikuwa wenyewe wanataka kupush talents za hawa watoto waende to the next level, now the footballers, or they were just thinking with their stomachs. So what I can just urge you guys to do is, let's support these women in football, because that is much they needed, and let's also give them the hype they deserve, as we also do with our male footballers. I think that would be a nice parting shot. Yes, team strong. Good. Do your thing. This Wild Goat is preparing himself.
Nick, and thank you again, Moraa manze. Who knew this space could be that composed? Tunakwaga tumejama hapa hii mtaa vibaya sana. But thank you so much, Moraa, you've done a very good job. This will be a frequent speaker, a frequent co-host once in a while wakininiana got hapa. So welcome on board, Moraa. Thank you for the space.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dizo. Thank you so much, Bree, for honoring my request and joining the space as a co-host. And also in absentia, I would like to say thank you to Gloria, the 14th Gano, she had left earlier. And thank you everyone for listening. If you don't hear my voice, I'll be coming back using my personal account. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So
Adios.
We are not going to stop being professional, but wacha turudi sisi ni kina nani. Tuanze kwanza na thank you that 14th anaitwa Ganarea. Ni Ganaria ama?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bree, thank you. So mimi when it comes to hapo kwanza part ya madem, let me take violence for a minute. I really don't understand how male team on one side imewekwa pale bumper to bumper, and then hii side nyingine the female team tunaambiwa to compromise. Where are we merging these teams, bro? Where? As in, me make sense. It's a good idea. We need to be supporting women's team, but not in this way. Unajua, because in this way, what you people are doing is you're comparing the women's team in the same context as the men team. The men team, it has taken them so many years wafike hapo na bado hata uone kama in our country we haven't even figured out how to maintain the structures without involving the community for help. We haven't figured out that shit. So saizi inakuwa ati
Dizo unanisikia?
Nakusikia. Good. So saizi hizi kuwa ati Gor venye iliendea ni Macmillan ati it should have gone for Vihiga. FIFA is promoting women football. We all know that. And we also want to promote it. But I feel women's football should be introduced in the football the same way we are introducing academies. Let's start by having good structures from uko juu to academies first. So by the time you are attaching a woman's team, you are attaching a woman's team to a full functioning structure. But here support women team. Uongo. That is, hiyo tutaimba hivyo, and then in 5 years time back in the same hole, funds getting misused, structures in a break, yani as in we'll just
itakuwa Dizo. Let me put up a point here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time when we were under stupid Linda Ogutu and the other stupid manions called caretakers who did nothing rather than wasting our time here and resources and giving us false hope and writing some shoddy reports about our football. And then some people, I think Nick Mwenda was being questioned by Parliament, and then this girl so-called Corazon showed up to Nick Mwenda, like standing in solidarity with the federation and whoever was sponsoring her to be there. Now I asked myself, you're the same person who has been suffering from the injustice in our football. Why would you stand with somebody who has made you guys suffer? And then I asked myself, why didn't I see a male footballer there? So I started feeling like maybe these ladies are very much comfortable because the last time they went to Tanzania, they reached Namanga, somebody stamped their passport and then told them to come back to Kenya, and then they ate that money. So I was so disappointed in her, and that's why when I see her going to Simba, moving from Simba, going to that Burundian team, I'm like, is this girl even serious? Like, she keeps on making small thing, wako tu sawa. And even the people who are supporting these ladies, they're taking advantage of them. So they're taking advantage of them, as the Vihiga lady has said. Like, sasa yenye pesa imeingia ndo kila mtu ako busy. Kila mtu team ni yangu, player ni. So let's assume these ladies wanataka kwenda hivi Sekafa Kimauru, and then shit happens, they don't make it to where they want to. So their football career may drop all of a sudden because they can't stamp authority and say this is what we want. We're speaking as a unit, and this is, for heaven's sake, the ladies too. We need like everybody has spoken here. I haven't seen people saying like we usually say for men football. This is what we will do, and this is what we will do. Teams that have not been acquired rightly don't show up for matches. If you show up, we will boycott. We will tell you no. We won't even watch you when you say anything. We won't. When you advertise a kit, we won't buy. We will sabotage you to go down and think twice because we're so soft on them. Unaona, you're so soft. I follow, the other day I was watching Kibera Soccer. They playing good football, and then you tell me Kibera Soccer, somebody out of nowhere buys Kibera Soccer just because he feels that Kibera Soccer are playing in dust in NCC, and then comes and give them 10,000. which is not there, and then tells them, if you win a match, I'm going to give you 1k annually per match surely. Na mnakuwa hapo kaeni hapo, kaa hapo, kama wewe ni mkali utaonekana, kama wewe si mkali utaonekana. Unacheki, stamp your authority. Saizi ball imefika place like Mbaka said, yes, you're telling these ladies to change from football heritage to football dinosaur of police. What has police achieved in the world of football? Who knows police beyond? But you, when you mention Thika, everybody knows Kahata scored a proper goal and is a boy from Thika. Moraa is a boy from Thika. Who is police? Which significance does police have in our football? But you have decided to change somebody from football heritage to football dinosaur just because you feel that they deserve to. But if these ladies could have stood their ground, waendelee kungangana, wajitume, washinde ligi, watacheza CAF na waende penye wanaenda. So we are so soft on them. We are so soft, I'm sure.
Na hiyo softness hapo ndio itakuja iharibu the discipline yenye tunajaribu kuinstill. Mi as in, naona tu yani ni tunaenda kucrash. We are going to crash. It's a good idea, very very good idea, but how it is being approached is very very, it's not mature.
But then niko na swali. Those who are informed, kiasi dizo, hizi teams zenye hazina ladies team, will they still play in this league? Because they said everybody should have a ladies team. So if anybody doesn't have a ladies team, they should not play in this league, because this is the same thing we usually talk about. So if Nick Mondo said everybody should have a ladies team, this means he wanted to punish Gor Mahia or one way or the other, or Kakamega Homeboys. So everybody should just tell us, jina yako Gor Mahia, this is your ladies team. Jina yako police, this is your ladies team. Everybody should prove with a document, and everybody assign. Even if it's possible, take a good photo for both ladies and men teams before the league starts. Even that thing that people are going to play on Friday or on Saturday, because we cannot keep on going here. Hey, we will do this, we will do this. Even Nick Mwendwa himself, he should stamp his authority and say, this is what I said, do it. If you're not going to do it, get out. Because now this is going to be again biased to my team. You forced my team to marry somebody that I don't want. So if that's the case, kila mtu atoe timu yake, Bidco itoe timu yake, hiyo Kariobangi Sharks ya Dizo itoe timu yake, kila mtu atoe timu yake. Kama hakuna mtu anatoa timu yake, asicheze ligi basi. Na kama ni hivyo, Nick Mondo scrappy kitu for everybody.
You see, kama hata umeenda hivyo Tross, which is a very good way, then Nick anafaa kuscrap mapema, because tukisema timu zote za FKF, KPL zikuje na matimu zao za madem, hizo timu zinaenda kucheza league gani? Juu tayari huku kuna watu washachaguliwa, watu 12, team 12. Bro, team 12, kwa hii team 12 kuna hadi team ya high school. I really want to understand what structure are they using to wacha tuanze hata na funding, to fund the KWF. What structure are they using to run it? Hii clearly inakaa ni wasee wameamua kuna do ina come from FIFA, let's rush this thing up. Bro, the moment Gor Mahia walifosiwa out of CAF, that was supposed to be a waking up call. Tuko Gor Mahia mmeendea team gani? Hiyo team mmeendea, we want to see that women's team in the league too, by merit of Gor Mahia. That's why when I came on board, I asked, can a women league be independent? Well, especially in Kenya. Wacha tunaongelea Kenya. Can a women league be independent in Kenya? No, we are too young for that. Bro, women league hata ukiangalia UK isi ati iliintroduce kitambo. So if we are too young for that, we can't introduce a women league. Let's start introducing that women team in the males team. So in the sense of by merit of the male team, if we are going to play Gor Mahia women wanaenda kucheza pengine Vihiga, ama tuseme sasa Vihiga itakuwa inaitwa Ulinzi. isaidia hao wanaume juu hawajui kucheza game. So tuseme Vihiga Gor inaenda kucheza Vihiga, then sisi kama ni fan wa Vihiga boy Vihiga FC, sasa nimeita Ulinzi Vihiga, kama ni fan wa Vihiga, then I'll go support it. But wizi niambia nataka kwenda kuwatch game ya Ulinzi kwa KPL, alafu ati timu yake ya women iko sijui Div 2 ama ile ligi ya kina Nemi inaitwaje, naambiwa hiyo ni niko huko. Nani atajitoa aende huko kwa ground akaone team kwa hiyo ligi? Bro, I've already set my standard as a fan to watch high level football. Now on the women's team, I've seen it. I've seen on kwa kina Vihiga, I've seen that. So meaning there's high level football. So if there's any marriage to happen, then it has to be pro versus pro. That's the only way hii shit inaweza work. Because other than that, this is a crash program we are entering into, especially in a league that the male side hakuna sponsor. Hatujaambiwa bado tunaishi limbo. Tunataka kuingia huko, kutakuwa na mashida mingi tunataka kudeal nazo huko. Then huko kwingine kuna madem, bro, do it land hivi, everything breaks down. Kila kitu utaona tu doors zinachukuliwa hivi na watu wanatoka. We haven't even held Nick accountable for anything. Right now we are supposed to be talking about election. So it's not that we are hating, me personally, it's not that I'm hating or I'm not supporting of the women's league. I just feel there's a lot of potential in the women's league, especially in this day and era. There's a lot of potential for us to handle it the way we are handling it right now. You venye tunai approach, mi sioni kama tani, sioni ka ni professional, as in someone just has to explain it. How are you going to start a league with 12 teams and then you're telling this the male teams to also have female teams? Where are their female teams going to play? Which league are they going to play?
But Dizo, again, I think I'm sure there's some people who have connection here, or some people who have information with the federation. Like, I would really want to see the list of teams that provided female teams, and that's the ones that did not provide. What will happen to the two bunches of those teams? And then again, all of us follow African football, and nowadays we talk about Morocco and stuff. Man, it's so sad. I followed how Morocco formed that female side, despite being an Arabic country. Yeah, the Federation of Morocco, since they saw since this the new thing, just going to invest in this thing specifically. Like, if the Nikmondo Federation was willing to help these ladies and not forcing us to this thing, they could have just been doing the paperwork for FIFA or CAF and anybody else and photography, but let these ladies be on their own. By being on their own, I mean they could be at least helping these ladies to grow their game by providing one transport. Morocco bought all those female teams, these two small vans. They look like an ambulance, but can carry at least 20 people. The small vans for players. So each and every team that were playing in the top flight already had a means of transport. And that's one of the problems that you have in this league. Only Gaspo has a proper bus. You people will keep undermining Gaspo, and we are the people who will have a proper bus here in this league, and we pay players. So if the federation was willing to make this league work, and they want to milk the money in this women's league, because it's the only league that FIFA is currently investing their money on, they could have been doing such things, subsidizing for these ladies, providing at least transport for these ladies, providing better pitches for these ladies to play, at least harmonizing and knowing how they are going to operate. But now, the same federation that have been so uneasy of helping these ladies came up with a rule: you have to be adopted by a certain male team. Even if they don't love you, your marriage has to happen. So when the marriage of convenience, it didn't work for Gor Mahia, we already divorced that dictionary team. So what happens to other teams? So I feel the federation should be helping us by doing this thing for paperwork and PR purposes, by telling CAF, okay, these people are with these ladies, these are with these ladies, but chini ya maji, they are helping these ladies by hizo magari, helping them kuwawekea fixtures zao zikuwe organized na kila kitu. Like they facilitate everything for these ladies to look easy. But it's the same federation that wants to milk the money for these ladies. This is the same federation that denied us a chance to go and play in Olympics, and that's why, and that we could be in World Cup right now if they couldn't have bullied us. I remember that match. I was with Zach and I was with other people. I knew Zach long time ago, but I think that's one of the matches that I watched with him. We drew 2-2 with Zambia. So sad. We drew 2-2 with Zambia. We lost an opportunity of playing in this competition in Olympics, and that's how we lost in the World Cup. So imagine if the federation was doing more to these ladies, we could be far. They couldn't be looking for men to accommodate them. Furthermore, these ladies are the ones who are in CAF, are in Europe playing proper football in Europe. In Europe, in Champions League, we have Akinaesi playing in Champions League. We have other ladies playing in French Liga. We have, despite the league big so disorganized. So imagine in a situation whereby the federation subsidizes and make it easier for these ladies to play football. We could be far, but the federation as well is so lazy. They feel like, okay, for us to make CAF happy and FIFA to get the FIFA money, we will say we'll give out a populist statement. Okay, let's this team marry this team. So I think that somehow the federation is sabotaging these ladies, and these ladies don't want to speak. They are happy because they're going to get 15,000 and a career of being a police. You don't want to be a professional footballer. Which career pays more than football nowadays?
Mi naona tu focus tu na kukimbia. We just agree we are not good at football. Unaona tukipeleka hata baiskeli nini Olympics. Tu focus na kukimbia. Watu wafunzwe kukimbia, tuachane na mambo ya ball. Kama men's football inatushinda, women's ndo tutawezana.
Bakaya gone.
Yeah, I think I have a different trajectory. We've always said that there's something nice about a country competing at the top games. That's why there is a lot of pride when you find our athletes in Olympics, whichever competition it is, winning that medal, gold, bronze, silver. There's a lot of, even Kenyans are so hurt nowadays that we cannot win steeplechase. It's become a problem. So along the line, we lost something. My thinking is, currently we seem to be on a trajectory of having the best talent of female players in Eastern and Central Africa. We have the strongest team in terms of talent. The ladies are just talented. Skills are ziko juu sana. And we are missing these opportunities to allow us to be a continental force. Once we've stopped being a regional force, we are now a continental force. These other opportunities will open up. We need people will sacrifice, and it's shameful to see that the current administration, even the previous sports ministry was led by a lady or a woman, and it had the most atrocities against women football. I believe that's when the women suffered and missed on the opportunities. There was the Olympics, as you've said, and then there is the World Cup. If Kenya has to go to any World Cup, you guys have to, you'll need a name, because the last time you attended, there was a AFCON, there was a name from Sigalagala. Pauline Naise was there. If you guys want to go to World Cup, you need to invest in and ensure that Gentrix Milimu is part of that list. Take advantage of these girls when they have the talent now and when the other systems are weak. I've been to Burundi, and I'm trying to imagine how Burundi can have better paying structures for football than Kenya, and it's puzzling me because these two countries have two different GDPs that are so separate. In this space, I once said that the challenge you have in this country is the managers make so much money than the real workers. And that's why we're having problems in Kenya where the coaches are earning a lot of money, especially if let's say you have a professional coach or anybody. You find that gap has affected us in how we effectively work. And we've taken the same attitude into the women's space. The issue of equality should not have been there. I think that team had the best chances and still has the best chances if we continue looking at the talent that's available. To prove that, look, we have a secondary school team that is now in the Premier League, Madeira Girls. Now that shows you how much there is how much hunger is there in terms of competition. Last season, I believe Ulinzi Starlets did well. Gaspo were there. At one point, Vihiga Queens were giving a run before. It was not easy for Vihiga to just win this title. There was a little more competition. And I know police are hungry for a title. They'll invest, they'll poach. Because as things stand in this league, there is no clear transfer policy for these women in the WPL. It's sort of an amateur league clothed in the professional title. It's still very ad hoc, where you find players can shift camps. Unfortunately, that is the structure that is there at the moment. But in my opinion, this team needs the team needs support. FKF need to be put on the task that this is the team that needs to be given the best opportunity that they have. And if our team is to participate in any continental, the federation knows that Vihiga Queens doesn't have the history the same way Leopards could go to somebody somewhere, a politician or an older fan would say, man, this team can't suffer in a meal. Vihiga is a young team that needs all the support from all quarters that can give it. And that's why the federation should be there to really hold their hands. But because the federation now has burnt all corners, it would have been nice to see the federation walk to these bodies, the Safaricom's, the Coca-Colas, who they are already doing a lot of projects with them, to see and even get a special clause and say, for the money that you give us for these tournaments, whether they're development, where do these players go beyond here? We can leave a caveat whereby you'll have 5 million out of the 240 you're giving us, or 10 million each year, to support maybe the league winner or several tire winners in the development, because you cannot say you're holding the Chapadimbas and then where are these players going to go? It's a wrong policy to say that you're developing talent at the bottom, but then the same companies that are supporting you at the bottom disappear at the top. It's a disillusionment. And for me, I find it to look like it's like wash business, where unapata pesa zinaonekana hapa chini ni kamari. As you climb, you realize, hey, kumbe, this money did not belong to us. It belonged to somebody else. But the person who needs to take time and think about his fate with football is the Vihiga County Governor. Whoever is close to that county governor should realize that ever since he sort of, in quotes, put war against Vihiga United and the teams that were there, and maybe reduced the support on their teams, now Vihiga has so many teams in the league, but apparently they created a sports fund to support almost every team at the bottom. Unfortunately, probably it has spurred a lot of teams to rise, because we have Luanda Villa, who are going to be in the National Super League. We have Vihiga Bullets in the Super League. We have now Vihiga Queens. Now there is these Madeira Girls. There is Bunyore Starlets. It's so many teams that is from the same county, who a few years back were not having a serious team within their vicinity, now competing. But unfortunately, the local government now has lost the direction, because I believe if they were fully with this team, they should be having a budget that supports a winner like Vihiga. Vihiga should not be struggling. Back to you, Got and Dizo.
Yes. Dizo.
Mikwanza ilikuwa nataka Okino was onto something. Okino anaweza pelekana na Mbakaya vizuri sana. Jio trajectory Mbakaya amenipeleka, amenitoa kwa, because now if I go with him, he is making sense actually in all angles.
Dizo before uendelee, umesahau kazi yako kwa hii space. Sioni link ya YouTube, sioni link ya WhatsApp, sioni link ya TikTok, sioni link ya Instagram. You're just here yapping. Links ziko.
At least nimesikia umeongea English, so there's hope.
Ukitafuta hizo links, wacha mmoja ongea, ndio ulete links kwanza. Hiyo ndo kazi yako kwa hii space, ndio ulete links za kila kitu. Wacha go Laura. pata
So,
links tuletea.
ngoja kwanza nimalizie na Mbakaya. Okino najua uko mahali hapa, please. Hebu come, you are onto something venye ulikuwa unaongelea the nini? The contract. Ilikuwa ni contract ama ni hiyo nini ya CAF hiyo, the agreement. License. Nimetafuta hiyo word, man. On the licenses, hiyo ndo naweza katuingie hapo, alafu alindulge Mbakaya after that one. But I agree with you Mbakaya, hii kitu of course ni mtu ameona do na anataka kukulia do. Hivyo ndo venye we are all seeing it mahali
kidogo.
Faith, we are all seeing it.
Utaniruhusu wacha ni park ni charge simu kidogo, alafu na come back kindly.
True.
Ndo naingia kijani sahi.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Muhonja, go ahead.
Okay. I think one thing yenye inakuwa challenge to our ladies, I will specifically talk about Vihiga. I think ni lack of motivation, because it doesn't even make a sense. You're going you're my MVPs. Then once you've gotten that cake, it happens you're not even getting not even a third of it. But sasa mnapewa tu hizo crumbs, then you are like, we are seeing ebu tuangalie mbele, we have something bigger ahead that we should be focusing on. Unajua hiyo motivation is one thing that is going to kill the morale. So that is something yenye inakuwa experience huku Vihiga, of which I think we, instead of kuwatupa under the bus sana, we should at least help kupiga kelele, unaona, at least welfare. Unajua welfare ya wachezaji pia inafaa ikuwe considered sana. I think that should be one of the topmost thing that management inafaa iconsider, of which I think inakuwa such a tumeitupilia mbali sana. So long as mademu wamekam, wamepiga zoezi, wameingia pitch, wameona their fixture, and that's it. Also another thing that I naona it's a challenge on the side ya my ladies, they hawajui rights zao, like no contracts, no any agreement. Wow, so long as wamepata hiyo opportunity to play in a certain team, so ule mtu mwenye amewachukua in that team anawabeba tu vile wanafaa, like anawabeba according to what suits them and not the welfare of the players. So unapata, that's why at the end of the day unapata kuna mvurutano. Maybe huyu already ashapigia hesabu, tuseme kama kuna pesa like kama za either tournaments ama maybe hata hizi well wishes zenye wao wanapeana maybe after they've won. They don't inakuwa like we are planning, kama example hii yenye ilikuwa ya federation, it was like ni inataka kupanga vitu, unapewa a certain amount and then the rest inakuwa unaplania CAF, then mnakuja tena mnaambiwa sijui kulikuwa na some debts zenye hazikuwa encounter. So I was like asking, let's say awange win league, tuseme Gaspar ndio wangeenda nayo, bado kungekuwa na still the same stories za sijui previous debts and all that. I think our players wanafaa kukalishwa chini. I think it's something yenye federation pia inafaa ifanye, like wawafunze, like they really need some literacy in agreements. Hiyo itawasaidia hadi in case wapate greener pastures na huko nje, they know how to kama wana, like tuseme kama wana agent, of which most of them they don't have, at least they'll know how to make an agreement, like you just don't run into maybe an agreement na unajua it doesn't suit you. So I think that is one big challenge yenye inakumba watu wetu. Yep.
Unajua hiyo
Okay.
hata ina affect. Unajua hiyo ni issue kwa structure. Because na hapo ndo mali nasema it's so hard for us to make the women team independent right now. We are too young for that. It has to be married to a male team that has a certain solid structure. Unaona, so from hapo hadi sasa madem ndio watafundishwa on contracts, watafundishwa on how to manage brands as even the male, because saizi ndio tuko kwa wanaume, tuko saizi kwa, imagine saizi ndio tuko kwa social media ya wanaume. Right now we are there. Ndio tuende kwa madem sasa, social media ya madem ya wanaume ndio hiyo tuko bogus. Ya madem, who's going to run it? Vihiga huko nasikia fununu mara mingi sana inabidi wanachangiwa madoo za fare. How are they going to survive that in a top flight league? Unajua, yani anyway, before we go to Okino, Raymond Kalunge.
So ulikuwa unatisha mic ya nini ukinoa mkono na kwa speaker pale? Anton, niaje? Anton.
Let's just go to Okina.
Hii ya leo nayo siwezi wadanganya, sina content. Ya leo, you know.
Aunaga bro, tulia tukushow.
But at least leo nimejua mmoja anakuanga dem, but nimeishi kudhani ni boys. Jesus kuzat. At least sasa.
We ni banta unajua. But anyway,
no, I swear nimeishi kudhani yeye ni boys ba.
Nani huyo?
Huyu mwonja hapa. Nimeishi kudhani ni boys.
Acho vala.
I swear. Na tumefollow each other's GC. At least imeleta some limelight today. So moving on. Anyway, before guys, I forget manze. Before tupate speaker next wa kuongelea soka ya madem, naona mtu amepata. Manze, thanks sana for the 2000 subscribers on YouTube. Mwendelee kushare hiyo kitu, mwendelee kusubscribe. Pia thank you so much for the 400 followers on our Twitter page. Manze, injili endelee kusonga hivyo hivyo. Mtume hata hiyo link ya YouTube na ya Twitter kwa group za familia huko WhatsApp. Thank you. Antogor ni aje?
Poa sana. Nimemiss sana hiyo conversation ya first part ya hii conversation ya madem, but kitu yenye naweza sema ni I think tunafaa kuanza na hizi structures, tutengeneze structures za madem, hiyo league ya madem penye iko. Kuna time nimeingia hapa nikapata mko mnaongelea hiyo mambo na acquisition ya hizi male teams zimeacquire hizi team za madem. Nilikuwa nasikia zingine walikuwa nasema ati mbona hawaja acquire this inaitwaje, the well established teams zenye ziko kwa KWPL, but I think hata kwa federation kuna time ile time ya super sport start times kulikuwa na I think ni 10 million yenye ilikuwa inaenda kwa ligi ya madem. Naweza kuwa wrong, but I think ni 10 million, na walikuwa wanafaa pia kuonyesha a few games kwa start times za madem. So sijui kama walionyesha game yote ya madem kwa start times, but vitu kaa hizo ndo zinafaa tuna sort out tukiendelea mbele. Semekaa hata hii ligi yenye inataka kuanza ya hii season, hizo ni vitu zenye tunafaa tujue by now. Hiyo ligi itakuwa run how, pesa yenye itakuwa huko, pesa itatoka wapi, kama pesa inatoka kwa ligi ya wanaume na hii sponsorship yao, itakuwa hiyo broadcasting rights ya KPL itakuwa beneficial pia kwa hao madem. Hizo ni vitu zenye tunafaa tujue hali, but saa unaona communication from the federation na iko I think mwenye huwa ana seme mwenye huwa amekuwa mandated kusupport madem ni Petra, but Petra sijaona kitu yote amefanyia hao madem since akue hapo kurun hiyo league, kuimake effective. Kuna time nilikuwa nasikia hapa, sijui ilikuwa nani, sijui ilikuwa Bree ama nani, alikuwa anasema hizi team za madem it is more effective kupeana walkover than kuenda game na unajua unaenda kupigwa ka 12-0. Heri upeane walkover na upigwe ni 2 bao 2 na 3 points imeenda. So sijui huko kwa ligi ya madem ni walkover, unapeana walkover ngapi ndio unakuwa relegated? Juu unajua kwa KPL ni 3. So mwenye anajua ka huko kwa hiyo ligi ya madem ni walkover ngapi ndio msee akipeana anakuwa relegated.
Mwenye najua tafadhali, hata mimi pia ningetaka kujua hizo, but sidhani kama kutakuwa na strict rules huko kwa madem, because again they have to force hiyo wakue hapo.
Dizo.
Ukina ni aje?
Poa, nimesetolina.
Saizi net yako iko fiti?
Nini power ndio ilikuwa imeisha, so say at least. Okay, so kitu ya kwanza ukipeana walkover 3, hiyo kwa kisheria za FIFA walkover 3 hiyo inakutoa kwa competition. So Antro hapo I guess nimemjibu. Alafu
both males na female.
Both males na females. Unless federation iko na imetengeneza sheria zake, imelocalize na zimeapproviwa na FIFA.
Na hapa Kenya inaweza kuwa iko follow to that letter kwa huko kwa madem, ama ni iko tu juu iko kwa book?
So hapo ndio nakuja sasa story ya club licensing. Unajua tukiongea club licensing, tukisema for example Gor Mahia ni club, Gor Mahia men team ni club, si ndio? Alafu kuna Akakoro sasa ndio itakuwa Gor Mahia female team, hiyo pia ni club kivyake. Na kulingana na club licensing venye iko, kitu ya kwanza importance yake ni kitu wanajaribu kudu ni kuimprove good governance at club level, increase trust na integrity ya clubs. Alafu na pia wanajaribu enhance integrity ya competitions. Ndio history ya maokova kupeanwa kwa ligi. Ligi imechezwa, timu karibu 5 zimepeana walkover. Story kama hiyo iishe. Increase story ya qualifications za macoaches. Ndio history ya I think ni Bree ama kuna dem alisema hapo mbele ati unapandisha team, alafu ukifika hapo unapeana juu na qualifications. So alafu tena ni increase stability ya club financially. So hizi ndo vitu club licensing inajaribu kupromote. Alafu club licensing ina entail nini? Kitu ya kwanza ni infrastructure. So Gor napena example tu, si ati mtu asichukulie vibaya. Gor Mahia men team inafaa ikuwe na stadium yake, okay? Female team inafaa ikuwe na stadium yake. Tukitoka tu Kenya football KE tuende Barcelona pale si ucheki, male team na female team wana train pale different, basketball team ina train pale different, all under the Barcelona flagship, si ndio? Nambakaya alimention kitu poa. FC Leopards is a sports club. It is a sports club, not a football club. Sports club inamaanisha inafai kuwe na sports zingine mingi sana zenye zinaendelea. So infrastructure ni kitu moja, na hiyo ni kitu hatuna, na inafaa kuwa both youth na senior. Na tukikujia hapo kwa ma youth team, saizi ma team ziko na ma youth team, na Mbakaya labda unaweza tupatia more light, because a while back AFC Youth ilikuwa imeuziwa I think a Coastal guy or something, ile time Beldin alikuwa coach. So hizo pia ni vitu zinafanyika, team iko but then hakuna structure imewekwa. Hizi youth teams zinacheza ligi gani? Juu saizi utapata ingine iko Div 2, ingine sijui iko county, ingine iko nationwide, ingine sijui iko aje, ziko tu all over. Alafu kitu ingine ni sporting. Hizi najaribu kuwapatia details za club licensing ina entail nini. Sporting hiyo ni first team players na welfare yao, hapo ndo pali ya contracts zinakam. Contracts zetu za Kenya ziko aje? Ziko skewed kufavor club. For example, Tusker wana clause zingine fani inawapatia right ya ku terminate contract. Unaona, inawapatia right ya kukuforce kwenda on loan. Hizi ni vitu club licensing ikifuatiliwa poa, kandarasi zetu under contract management na sporting, hizi ni vitu hazifai kuwa zinafanyika. But the reason why unapata kama ule dem alienda kutetea Nick ni juu Mika agent, na watu wengi wanajua kitu, kuna venye hizi madili upigwa, nao ndo watu sukumaga hizi madili, wamekuwa wakioperate kama agent for a very long time, na ndo na FIFA ikakamin nikakam na sheria mpya. So watu kama hawa time yao inaenda ikiisha pia. So hiyo nilikuwa nimedigress kidogo. So upande mwingine ni administration. Secretariat ya club haifai kuwe na overlapping roles. Mtu ni CEO, ndio communication director, ndio ni treasurer, ndio ni nini. Kunafaa kuwa na admin staff, kunafaa kuwa na watu communication and media, kunafaa kuwa na doc, kunafaa kuwa na physiotherapist na hii minute, alafu na kunafaa kuwa na nini psychologist. Hizi ni vitu mimi nitazidi kuinsist. Team bila hizi vitu na inafaa kuwa ni both male and female ndo zikuwe compliant. Tukienda legal, legal ni pande ya makandarasi, venye contracts zao ziko, media ownership, contracts zao na wachezaji, alafu clear club ownership na structures. Juu hizi maclub mob unapata kama sahii ile kitu imefanyika Moroni na Wazito. Tukifuatilia club licensing, hizo ni vitu hazifai kuwa zinafanyika, but ball yetu being what it is, hizo ndo vitu zinaendelea. Na with that in mind, hata historia ya madem tunajaribu tu kuwa appease, juu sasa hata ukicheki watu wengi kama mmekuwa mkiwatch magame za World Cup, hii kitu ya madem imehypiwa sana na kuna doo inamwagwa sana, and it's been a project for FIFA from 2021 running to around 2024-25. Hii ni among the strategic plans. So hapa Kenya kuna watu wametegea hiyo do, na ndio kiona hizi mradi zinapigwa, they're after something. Dizo
umeiweka vizuri sana though, bado ilikuwa nimeenda hadi kufuatilia ile story ati ya huyo dem alienda kutoa Nick. Nataka kusikia story, but anyway, yeah, umeiweka vizuri. Do imemwagwa and we all know do imemwagwa. So the worst part, mi hata chenye naniboni, we are approaching it in a very barbaric way, yani na do imemwagwa, yani tumepeleka uselfishness huko. Si tunataka tu do itokeze, we are not even looking for the future of this of this women team as an opportunity for us. Unajua Mr. 90,
Ni aje bro?
vipi kaka?
Poa sana. Wacha nitoe phone zangu za chwani kwanza.
Bana, nasikia nikanaongelesha mtoko kwa shimo. Oh, you haven't understood the professionalism of the space today, bro. You haven't, it hasn't hit you. the 50 shillings earphones. Una aibu.
Check, we are trying to be
Raymond.
professional today. No heckling, no
Yes.
shouting, no cussing. We are trying to talk English, no sheng, nini. But niko na Okina hapo. I think there was a time we talked about club licensing. Na tukasema there's no way we can shape our football the way we want if you're not keen and compliant on club licensing. Na hata Okina sidhani amegusia zote. Kuna zingine sijui kama uligusia financial, because you see even under financial teams should be audited. At the beginning of the season, you want to know, can you people sustain yourself? Can you guys pay for your away games? Can you people pay your players? Because you should be running your teams as a business entity. Then again, you shouldn't be taking advantage of these players because you're trying to run your clubs as CSR. They have needs, they have families to feed, but they dedicate most of their hours to your clubs. Can you pay them? Unaona? Those are things they have never sat down with this team. That I mean the management. So now when we cross over to the women's team, I definitely I don't expect them to be as strict. Sijui hata kama kuna any of the 5 pillars of club licensing they have enforced. Because you see now, they are now forcing the men's team to have a women's team. And venye tu Devi umesema, na Okina amesema at large. You see, over the recent years, if you've noticed, in the football world, they have tried to incorporate and integrate the women's team. I have even mentioned this before. If even when you cross over to the men's team, you will find there's a woman commentator, there's a woman analyst, marefari nini. So now our management back at home wanajua kuna do, because FIFA at large ishaeka pesa, and to make it grow the women's football they have to pour so much money, huge amount of millions of dollars, ndio ikuwe na hiyo head start. But then again, strategy yao is also working, because as much as they are spending so much money on this football, they are also encouraging advertisers to also come and invest. So now back at home, akina Nick mazee wakukachora venye inafaa, they would have actually let this team stand alone first, wapatie hata 2 years, because pesa ya FIFA itaisha hii next year watatoa pesa ingine, the following year watatoa pesa ingine. Give these teams enough time to stand on their own, give them the foundation. Like Trossard said, facilitate, support. In fact, they should be supporting the women's team more than the men's team. But tunajua wako pale for their selfish agendas, and they won't do so much for these teams. Watawapatia pesa ya hapa na pale, but the larger share of the cake ni hao watakula. Juu sahi bole ya madem inatritiwa venye NGO na treatingi maeria kama Kibera ama countries guys, unaona, because FIFA itaendelea tu kutoa do in the hope ina grow, but management yetu itaendelea kukula. So ndo to shape up, we must take club licensing serious for the men's and the women's team. Financial is one, sporting ni ingine. If our men's team are suffering or they are finding it hard to manage the youth team, watamanage aje women's team? So now you already have an issue, so you're adding more issues, and you're making it strenuous for these teams, you're stretching them further. Last season tulikuwa tunaona venye the women's teams zilikuwa zinazusha, walikuwa wana complain, they walikuwa wana forgo games ama wana forfeit games. Hata sahi tu tumeambiwa earlier, it is easier for them to forfeit ama wachukue walkover than to fund kuenda kucheza game, because watafund waende away wamechoka, alafu wapigwe 8-0. Eri wachukue walkover ikuwe 2-0, at least they can manage the goal difference. But do you think in the long term, are we helping our football, or are we continuing to stabilize it, to destabilize it? Because hatuisaidii. Yes, do itatoka, but are we playing the long game ama tunacheza ya sahi? Clearly tunacheza ya sahi, na hiyo ni upuzi. So as in hiyo venye wameforce kwanza hizi team zingine zichukue hizi women's team, watachukua tu for the sake just to tick. But while we are trying to tick one club licensing law, the bigger one enye Goro walichujwa last season, why are we not taking that serious? Mbona hakuna reforms zenye zita make sure hiyo itai happen tena? What has been done since then? Nothing. Ligi inaanza 26
tukingoja sponsor
sana sponsor. Hiyo tushajua bro. There's no need to spend so much time on something we know. Acha itushtue. Tuseme haya, by the way mulikuwa serious. For now, fuck them. So, tungeanza na hizo club licensing. I understand so many teams will fall off. But after 1 year, they will have seen the advantage and they will pull up their socks, or they will strive to make sure they are cleared of those club licensing. And we don't want them to be strict. Tulisema kwa hii space, all solutions are based on political, economic and social status of the country. They have professionals in that board. Go around the country, see what works and where clubs can actually make it in terms of the licensing. Hata for example to sporting, we need to know, do you guys have a youth team? Yes, well and good. Juu ni rahisi, tuko na watoi, unapita kila mahali kuna watoi. So in essence, you will not force, you will make teams get a youth team, get a youth coach. So in such cases, you are providing a platform for more kids and coaches. Unaona? So you also train these coaches to manage these kids. It is a whole structure, like 1 2 3 4 5 makes 6 7 8 9 10 happen. But hatuwezi ruka 5 tunataka tuendelea hadi 10 na we have not done 1 to 4. As in, these things, they will just come and bite you. But sadly for us as fans, we will always be there. So the effects tutaziona hata kama ni 10 years. But the management, it might not be here in 10 years. Watakuwa washaenda, washatupeleka further down. They won't care because their term itakuwa imeisha. So wanatufanya tu kama politicians. So those things are very important. Juu pia hizo ndo zina streamline teams. When you streamline these teams, they become attractable to sponsors na nini, because they are seeing a conducive environment to advertise their products. Juu hiyo conducive environment imekuja ikapata viewership in terms of fans. Juu fans ndio macho. And clearly, people are ready to be attending these matches in Kenya. They just need organization, systems and structures that work, and you can see them clearly working for the future. See 2 years, see 3 years, for the 5, 10, 15 decades kuendelea. Because if teams like Yanga and Simba could do that, hizo team 6 years ago hawakuwa mali wako sahi. Mi kama kuna kitu nakumbukanga sana ni ule fan wa Yanga alikufa, ule wa Hujuma. How long was that? Sidhani imepita 5 years. And if it has imepita, enye pia time flies. Regardless, my point is this. Hata kama imewachukua 6 years, it is finally paying off. Na mali wamefika, for as long as they are respecting the structures and the game, hakuna kurudi chini. It will always, itakuwa kupanda, because with football, every season you look into improving. Nilimaliza number 4, sitaki nimalize number 4, ndaka nimalize number 3, ndaka nishinde kitu fulani. As a whole league, tulikuwa na teams kadhaa zilikuwa zimejaza study. What can we do and make the other teams zijaze study? Na hiyo ndio Kenya walifanya na Azam TV. I was in Tanzania bro. Unafungua TV hivi, everything you watch is Tanzanian football. Tanzania football. You go to the Tao, unatembea hivi ni mashati za SportPesa, za Simba red bro. Red as in, cause they have actually nurtured the footballing culture in Tanzania. And they have done it as a collective unit. Gava, federation na the billionaires of that town. Huku juzi mtu aliuliza why, mbona by the billionaires wa Kenya wanatengenezanga tu mall? You see, we are working in silos. We are not working collaboration. We are not even collaborating. Ministry of Education inaenda huko, Ministry of Sports inaenda huko. Ikikuja kwa FKF wanatumika tu for branding. Weka hapo, si ndo tunasema. We kubali tu na vitu. They are not working in collaboration. And that is the issue. Otherwise sina vitu mingi za kusema.
Mi nataka kuongezea hapo pati ya Ministry of Education na collaboration. If they really want to integrate the women's team, ni huko tuende kwa Ministry of Education. Venye tu tuliongelea na academies, that's the only way you can integrate a new idea. You don't force a new idea, you integrate it. Hiyo ni kuenda kwa Ministry of Education, bro. Kama kuna team iko KWF na ni from high school, hiyo ndo ichukuliwe itumike kama study to bring up other high schools like that, because now that there is already a structure, that's a structure going on, meaning these schools will have that. The same idea we were talking about ya kuintegrate academies kwenda kwa ma high schools, hivyo ndo venye tufanye tu pia na women's. Hii sasa tukushua by the hapa kuna mafans, wale ni mafans for real. Mimi nakumbuka hata tukiwa high school bana, ungeenda umejipata umeenda kusupport, lakini sijai date demo ball by this guy, but ungeenda usupport beshte yako mwenye maybe hakuna demo ball ama pengine hiyo shule ni girls ni girls school yenu, so kulikuwa na hiyo, you know, it's basically just a community. Kulikuwa na hiyo generic following. So Ministry of Education ikuwe na collaboration na FKF for this project. For some this project, we want to come up with a good academy, and we also want to come up with a good women league, sustainable, kitu inakaa. Then mimi hapo at least naweza angalia nikwe, okay, give this 2, 3, in fact 5 years. 5 years, and by then hizo mashima teams zilikuwa high school ziko kampo. Bro, kampo, ligi ya kampo inakuwa ni moto. By the time mnatoka hapo mnaingia pro, bro, we exporting our talent because they are above this league, both the men and the women. But hii ya kufanya vitu ati shortcut supporting women wapi? Tunaleta ba agenda za zi make sense. Anyway, hata mimi I think on the women's football, I'm okay with it. Mtu mwenye na feel akona any something added anaweza ongezea on the final submissions. Anto, both Anthonys, mko poa?
Tuko fiti.
Go ahead.
Anasema tuko fiti, niko fiti, nashukuru. I think I've listened to you guys, na mko alo?
Tunakusikia, go ahead.
Anasema I think I've listened to you guys, na mko na content mzuri sana. But there's one thing mimi nasahau, sawa? Hii Football Kenya Federation. Wazee kuna wasee ambao kuna strategy mzuri ya kuiba ndoo ya watu ya mpira. Hiyo ndio tunasahau. So these guys are listening everywhere. Au strategists wao wanakaa chini wanapanga. Ni yale wasio tawaambia vipi. Hiyo ndio kitu watu wanasahau. So if you want to fight this federation, at least iko competence. Ni kama historia ya madem, nikisema historia ya madem ya kuzesha, nifuatilizia sana. Hii ni historia ambayo ilianza kitambo, na historia ambayo imekuwa Oxford na watu wa federation. Like I'll tell you for example, there's a team in Coast tajita Fortune Ladies. Federation imwaingilia paka ina fight lazima wauze Bandari slot. Kifuatilizia ni kwa nini? They came with, wameangalia kuna hapo kwa women kuna opportunity. Team za madem zinashindwa kujisupport. wakaleta kabelo, ukiforfeit game moja unapokonya point 3, away point 3 bao 2, home unapokonya point 6 bao 2, ikaanza kuwork. So wana force team ondo na force teams get out of the way so that timu zote zinachukuliwa, kwa sababu katika history yote kuna wase wana benefit. Story kama ya Gor, story ya Gor watu wengi hawajaifurahia, but mimi kivyangu nimeifurahia kwa sababu I think history acquisition have been follow up in Imperial Central Republic Africa. It could be simple. Kama timu yoyote ya boys ataka timu wasichana, wache ianzishe team from grassroots na ikuwe na players ambaye hawajacheza game so that tuweze kusema tuna cha talent. But sasa timu inakuja saizi inachukua sijui timu gani, inachukua sijui timu gani. Hapo imeacha talent gani? Gor imeenda for the least team ambayo tulikuwa tujui, na alijua au kati nani alikuwa anakajua. Hakuna, imeenda for the least team. I think hiyo ndio inafaa ikue. Tuachane na politics. Tunaenda kwa timu ambazo haziko, ama we start from the structure from down ground, kwamba lazima team iko na uniform team ama players ambao hawajacheza kwa ligi. But sasa hii ni story mena kwa complicated kwa sababu federation inatengenezaje ndo neo story. But saizi ikiforce Bandari ichukue Fortune Ladies, official of Fortune Ladies wanakuwa scam to the corner. Hii timu tunaipokonya license, tunaifanya kadha uzeni Bandari. Then jamaa na Bandari kwa meza naje 25 million mchukue slot. So hiyo ndio system mzima iko. Si kwamba ati kuna intention nzuri ya kufurahisha ladies football, hapana. Hii ni team iko especially for the team ambazo ziko community based, ambazo ziko na challenges. Instead federation ni check hizi challenges hii teams na face, tunaweza saidiaje? But they're taking the challenges that a team facing kuwa intimidate. So tunafaa tuangalie kwa angle tofauti kabisa. Hapa hakuna story za acquisition, ni story tu ya wasio kutengeneza do. Na vile nimesikia Makaya akisema in the next 5 years tutakuwa kuna kitu kama hii, ni story tu. Tutakuwa kuna kitu kama hii. Shukran.
Hiyo ado tunajua na hata tumeikubali bro. We can't change that right now. Tunasema tu wakule hiyo do na heshima. Yani hata ekeni project yenyewe inaweza kuwa sustainable na ni cheap. So hata mkiiba, muibe lakini pia mnaacha something going on. But yeah. Pia si usema hapa hivi, hatuko side ya management. We are just calling out, we are holding accountable what we see. Management ni hard man. Huko ukienda unaanza kuambiwa, unajua uelewi, nyi hamko huku. Na ni ukweli hatuko huko man. Me, I just want to get my worth of investment. Nikibai jazi na buy jazi, alafu unakuja huko mna run hiyo club waje na nimebuy jazi. Ati inaenda kwa jina personal. Hizo staki. Tukimalizia Anto mwingine.
So mi kitu naweza uliza hii rule ya ati men's team must have women's team ni rule yenye iko Afrika peke yake ama ni other confederations pia wako na the same rule ama ni rule yetu tu ya CAF? Alafu hii rule yenye saa sisi FKF imeweka